Yo, guys, hey, welcome to Coast Connection. Embrace the power. I got my man Kev on today, and we're going to talk about some offensive linemen. We're going to talk about youth athletes, going to the next level. But also, I need to give a shout out to Panera Bread over here on West Shore Boulevard. Man, I want to thank those guys this morning for making me an awesome breakfast, and always Dunkin' Donuts, and definitely Durant High School for making district this week. But hey, Kev, what's going on, my man? In Georgia, what's up? Me and Mike G want to say hey from Tampa, bro.
Man, how you doing, man? Hillsborough County. I know y'all at, but how y'all?
We doing good, man. Hey, we were just talking earlier about, the football and about the challenges that most players have these days. The one thing that I love to have to ask you is now that you've played yourself, you've had your own career, you see where football is. What do you see the big transition from when you played to now?
Like we just talked about the body, man. I graduated 02 and, 02 in high school, so played college through 06, man. But, the body being flexible enough, being able to bend, be able to move. And I think with now we have a lot of technology and a lot of YouTube and stuff. I don't think people take that as serious as they should. Because if they would, it'll put them in a better position to handle a lot of freakish D linemen, big guys are athletic, guys are linebackers playing D-line, all that type of stuff. But I think the body, being able to bend, strong knees, hips, this is what college coaches want to see. They want to see you bend. However big you are, they want to see how well you bend, how well you can sit in the chair. Feet being flat, strong shoulders, no injuries, all that stuff, man.
Yeah, you train a lot of young student athletes, and I think a lot of parents live vicariously with their kids, but that's a whole other subject for another day. But as you look at the challenging times that we have, the game has gotten faster, and we've had a lot more injuries because we overtrain over the years. And I think sometimes there needs to be a break in there, but between training and really youth football, what do you think we really need to start at that point of trying to get those fundamentals built? Because it seems like right now, football, baseball, basketball, everything's year round. Yeah. So there's like no break in the body. So, from your standpoint of a trainer, how often what's the youngest age that you normally start at with trying to help young people target their abilities as an offensive lineman?
Man, look, I have parents that bring me kids that are in 4th, 5th grade. But these kids, and sometimes not all about football, as big guys, those kids lack the confidence and, just the wherewithal of just like how their body is and how their body moves. And so when I come in that sometimes with like the parents, first of all, they want the kid to be mobile. They want them to just get active. And then, the second thing they want to do is like the confidence to even do the job. And then the confidence for me, I give them sometimes carry on to the practice field on how you practice and etiquette. And then the etiquette gets you playing time, from off the bench to being the starter. So, I help out much as I can, but, some kids it's easy. Some kids it takes longer to process, but that's the main thing, man.
Right. I mean, there's a massive transition between the time they're in elementary school, middle school, and then when they get in high school. And, that because puberty kicks in and kids that weren't that big then that hit high school and they change. And so, as as kids as they transition during these different periods of their growth, you constantly have to make sure that, as bone structure changes. Are you pushing them to go to yoga? Are you having them do some kind of stretching? Are you having them do Pilates? I mean, because injuries are real these days, and if you have a serious injury at a young age, you could damage yourself for a life.
Yeah, man. Like so far, man. Like to be honest with you, man, I lack the knowledge of just flexibility and stretching. Even though I wasn't as tall, but I was strong and fast. I played basketball at my size, and I was explosive, but to believe it or not, man, like I feel like when a kid comes to me, man, like I try to give them everything. I don't, a parent can go here, can go different places and get 5 things just for one kid, but I feel like I want to give those things outside the box that parents think I don't be thinking about. I want to give those to kids, and every day we start off with like dynamic warm up, stretch with the band. We do the hips. I have a gym. I don't have hurdles, so I use the barbell. So I have a Smith machine, so I have them step over it, drop underneath it, We work on the hip flexors, and as linemen, we need the inner thighs. So we do a lot of hip med ball, hip thrusts. But I do incorporate a lot of that. Probably the first 15, 20 minutes of the whole before the workout starts is about an hour. The kids don't even talk to me because they know to come in and do right and go ahead and just do their whole routine, like stretching, warm up, and it carries on because now the parent can see the kid moving fast on the field. Being able to bend. You have to be able to bend to get in the stance as a young kid. Like if your stance is not right, then your success rate is not going to be high. And the cause of you not having the stance is because you can't bend, or you never bend, or you never stretched. So I do give that to all my kids all the time.
Oh no, and that's great. So I mean, you work at the high school level. You played ball yourself. What did you learn from the situation that when you play ball yourself, that you wish you could have done better? Now that you've gotten older, you go, wow, man, I wish I'd have known that back in the day. What was the difference in your coaching style that when you are coaching now, that when you came through, that you think there was a lack of, that you see now, the deficiencies that you didn't gain when you were playing ball?
Man, I think the lack of information for people to learn, not talking about from the coaches side of it. I think now between social media, so YouTube and all type of things, that's very informative to give you insight of the game and how the things are done. I think we didn't have that. I wasn't blessed in my household to have that. My mom and dad are from the islands; they're not from America, Barbados and Guyana. So, like, I was naturally just to have a size to put me in position to do what I did in life, professional wise through the football. But I think like a lot of coaches didn't know. I couldn't find guys that play NFL ball when I was growing up in high school. You didn't see those guys. They were very low key. They were very rare. I think you can find more guys that been through the system and been through the whole process of becoming a professional player at a high level. Some couple years and some a long time. So that's the difference I see now, man. I see a lot more guys attempt. Some of it is not good, but a lot more guys are attempting. And you can filter through all the stuff and see which one that's gonna be the one to motivate you and one you're gonna grasp on the fastest and take it from there. But it is a difference. A lot more information being given to coaches, people of charge. Even little league coaches, like they can learn that stuff fast. And give that information that they need. Some of it good, some of it bad.
Oh yeah, so what about diet? I mean, so back in the 70s, it was all McDonald's and Big Macs and Whoppers. So now, when you're talking to big man, I noticed I saw the NFL a couple of days ago, and they were showing some guys with plates, and I mean, I'm like, hey man, that don't look like a Big Mac to me. They were literally there's like a serious diet regimen for a big man, so there's a lot of calories. So. Will you ever have discussions about the diet plan for the offensive lineman you train?
Man, that's part of the package. I feel like if I don't tell these kids all the stuff that I saw, I learned, I went through, I didn't learn. I think that's kind of what makes me to being one just good at what I do, just because I give them that stuff. And sometimes it's hard to control a kid being a kid.
Right.
Some parents just don't understand it. But at the same time, some parents come from different background. I'm an island person, so we got a beans. I got
beans and rice, man. Mike's favorite Dominican. So yeah.
I got one of my good linemen I had since 3 years, and he's a 7th grader right now. I just know their background, just because it's the island backgrounds, like beans, rice, tortillas. It's kind of hard to control that. That's the one thing that the hardest thing for me to do right now with kids, because some kids are already a big size. It's just right. It just some kids have parents that the bone structure fits their mom and their dad, or vice versa, somewhere down the line, and they get the same thing. So, and me being able to manage it is saying, I can do what I do, but at the same time, I don't live with those kids, so that's why it's hard.
Right. No.
Kids kind of change that stuff when they go to college. But what I do is I kind of give parents tips. I give them a lot of tips, a lot of things to do. And believe it or not, majority of my parents do listen to me and take my and do that stuff. And
Okay.
try to incorporate a lot of running, a lot of conditioning. You know what I'm saying? And the
Right.
parents do a good job checking in with me, being honest, telling them what they do. You know, some of them have cell phone numbers, so I keep I kind of track them down, like, you know, just talk to them and just remind them. It's a constant process. It's never ending cycle in that situation.
Oh yeah, you know, and here's the deal. I know you do a lot of training with students. Do you work with, and you know, because let's talk real seriously real about competitiveness of being recruited. So there's a lot of competitiveness these days to get recruited or to be seen and go to camps. So I know you put on your camps and your stuff. Are you like working with a couple of different universities, or are you kind of like, hey, I think this guy's going to be a dude, because you know that's our term. He's going to be a dude. And so, do you ever work with a couple different high schools or colleges now and then and say, hey, I got a guy that's probably in my camp, man. He's going to be a dude if he stays on the path. Do you have that kind of relationship with other universities? Well, definitely your alma mater, because you'd be selling out, man. But I know,
Man, but look, man, to be honest, man, like through the world we live in today with social media, man, it's kind of like between Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. A lot of guys I played with, and I was blessed to play football. Kind of a lot of guys I played with or coached me. They're still coaching, or they're in that realm of like doing coaching or scout or analysis on all levels. So the fun thing about what I'm doing now, I'm creating a player, is that a lot of those guys reach back out to me. And this is why I post a lot of my videos, because a lot of my videos, a lot of college coaches follow me. So I'm the type of person, I'm gonna do exactly what's done on the field. So that a lot of my drills, I post a lot of my drills, and those drills carry over to what the college coaches do and other high school coaches. And this is how people like or press the follow button, and you know, and then the inbox start happening. It's just a cycle, man. Like, it's an algorithm to this whole process.
no,
Like,
I agree. And you use Twitter really well and on your platform. And I noticed I was like, somebody was like, hey, we're talking about a website. I said, well, he's really using Twitter, because right now for high school and college, Twitter is kind of like the go-to tool. So I tell people all the time is that if you're going to do private training, it ain't about having a website. It's about being available on social media like Twitter,
I ain't,
Instagram, Facebook. Go ahead, man.
I need to get it. I need to do need to work on the website soon, but right now, man, it's just all the college coaches on Twitter, and you'd be surprised my inbox, man. Like, you know how many coaches and kids I have got scholarships just because I'm the type of guy. I'm a send it. If they're gonna ask me about it, and some of them are all the ones that talk to me. They have good relationships with me already. They know who I am. They know what I produce. They got guys that may be committed. They got the guys that be recruiting. So like every year, it's a re-up on like, hey coach, do you have any guys? And as a matter of fact, a lot of guys I play with in the Giants, like those guys I played with, had a pleasure to play with, offensive lineman wise. Those guys are in a position to coach now. So, you know, those guys I play with at Western, the DB coach at Georgia, Fran Brown. So, and I already know a lot of guys just because I got kids that go to these schools. So when I go on visits, spring games, summer visits like to Georgia, to Clemson, to schools, schools in the area, it's kind of a good thing that the coaches already know me and recognize me through the drills I do. Like, coach, man, you're doing a great job. This is all the same stuff that we do. So, but yeah, social media helps me work with a lot of coaches from all across the nation.
Right.
Even,
So, hey,
Yeah.
I got
So
guys.
let's go back. Let's go back, man. What's up, Kevin? Man, how you doing? Now I can hear you guys. We're back. But check this out. So when you tell these kids, man, they put their hard work in. Let's go back to what we were talking about. You got to tell them they ain't good. How does that work out? Is that a mental, like, excuse my French, fuck up? You know that these kids think they're gonna make it, but they're not good. So how's that work into your favor? Like,
Man,
you
man,
know, it's got to bother you because you put so much work into it. You know what
man,
I'm saying?
sometimes, to be honest with you, man, sometimes when kids are not, you know what I'm saying, school's gonna look at a kid, first of all, if he doesn't have the talent, like sometimes his size, it's like, oh, wow, he's huge. Like, then look at the film, and then then sometimes if he's young enough, he can, you know what I'm saying, he can develop and get with the right person and become a dude or whatever, or become a bigger dude. But a lot of guys, man, to be honest with you, man, a lot of coaches really send me guys that they recruit and they just want to just help them out. So if they got a guy like me in the area, like, hey man, you need to reach out to this guy, and and work with him, man, he can help. I have a lot of that stuff going on now, but you can't really control. You can't really tell kids like I told Vince earlier. At a certain age, some kids are stuck in their ways, and then some guys are scared of to coach big time guys and tell them what they need to hear. I'm not that. I'm my type of guy. I'm gonna tell the kid what he needs to hear. I'm gonna tell the kid in a respectful way, but it's like me not being an agent, but it's like me being an agent and mentor all in one, because I'm the type of guy, and this is why a lot of parents like how I work with kids, and my whole get down, but because I don't sugarcoat nothing. Like because I was the type of guy, I got a half a scholarship, I got cut, release, NFL many times. I had to earn everything, so I'm a undrafted free agent. So my mind is not even to even have that type of character. Now, if sometimes a kid is already stuck in their ways, so I try to feed it into them slowly but surely through text messages and other things. But at the same time, I treat every kid the same. I tell every kid the same thing they need to hear. I tell them, if you don't do this, what will happen? And 99.9% of the time, I'm never wrong, because I know how the body works. I'm a big guy. I know what big guy's body can do and cannot do. And I know when the body is going to break into this threshold. And that threshold break can be a career-ending break, or it can be, it can just, you got to stay on top of your game. You got to stay available, because there's so much going on with new kids on the block, new recruits. Like, there's so many kids, and social media is getting kids in small pockets out in the forefront. So I tell every kid the same thing, man. I don't sugarcoat nothing, man. Now,
hey, so you might need to get big old Mike in here, a big league shirt, because Mike talk about, I'm a baseball player. He should have been on the offensive line a long time ago, or tight end.
That happens, man. Like, especially my basketball players. Like, I feel like, and I played ninth grade. I played varsity basketball in my ninth grade year of high school. I went to school in Savannah, in high school, and I moved up to Georgia, like to Creekside High School in Fairburn, Georgia. But at the same time, like, a lot of those kids they don't know. He might have not known like what my worth is really at the time, and then somebody have to show them their worth. You feel me?
No, that's true statement. No, you're spot on, because I've seen a lot of kids, and I tried to tell this one guy, you hit a great point. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. This is near and dear to me. I'll never forget this. So many years ago, I had a kid playing for me, and his dad goes, "Oh, he'll be a great quarterback." I said, "Look, man, that kid's gonna be like 5'4". I said, "Put him on the soccer field, because he's fast as lightning, and he had great footwork already." Dad argued me down. So literally, he put an expiration date on his son's career.
And look, I work with a lot of parents, a lot of full homes, a lot of single moms, and not even a lot of times, man, the parents hold kids back from opportunities, and especially I'm gonna be honest with you, I have a lot of Hispanic kids in my school. I'm in the Hispanic area, Hispanic and Black, and from our background, because we all from the same region of the world, we gonna work. My mama Bayesian, my dad's Guyanese. We gonna work. We
blue collar. We
have a family, a family business, and we're gonna fulfill the needs for family business. And not saying that's not good or bad, but sometimes that limits the kid potential, especially in America, because there's so many options and so many ways you can do things on top of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I see it firsthand every day with my kids. Like, I have Hispanic linemen that you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they lose. Sometimes I'm fighting against something I can't win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard, man, but sometimes it's just the parents, it's not the parents, they just don't know.
Well, they don't see. It's like my dad. And I use a prime example. My dad played music. He didn't see the value of sports, and so. But I was a sports guy. I played baseball, basketball, football. I mean, I was the jock of the jocks. I love sports, And now, and then now I coach running backs and quarterbacks here and down here in Tampa. And so he never could see the value of it, and neither could my mom. So there's like getting you to practice. They were like, why would I take you to practice? I'd be inconvenienced. So there, what kills me is about students only have one life. Yes. And so often I think the biggest crutch is that parents don't want to be inconvenienced or having to pay that extra money for that training, because like I tell everyone these days, you just can't turn it off and turn it back on, because there's always somebody grinding, man. There's always somebody clanging and banging. There's somebody always in the gym. There's always somebody pushing the sled. There's this one kid out there that, all he sees is that this is my life, and I'm going to hit the books at school. But if I don't persevere and push through this, even though my parents don't have my back, even though my friends don't have my back, even though everybody doesn't understand why I'm grinding, I still got to do it. And those are the kids that I see are so successful in life. But yet there are a lot of parents, they don't get on the train, man.
Man, and this is kind of where I come in at also with my training program. Like, I'm not the type of guy that is going to charge a buku amount of money for a service. Now, granted or not, like, I have deserved the right over the years through my, my little mini success and the kids I have produced to charge a certain fee, man. But like I said, I never turn on a kid for money. That's my MO. And that's just like I told you before, the undrafted free agent mindset. Like, I feel like sometimes what I do is, this is what I do. Like, if the kid can't afford it, I reach out to a kid through social media or whoever platform. Sometimes it's a word of mouth. And, I tell them what the price is, but I always tell them, like, look, man, hey, man, if you can't do it, just let me know. Just talk to me as a man. And that's something I always want to teach all my guys that I work with, like, just speaking up as a man at a young age and, like, talking to me. But, so I got some guys that train for free. I got some guys, look, you come for free, man, but the information I'm giving you is so good, you're going to tell your friends, and then, you might have 2 or 3 friends might
network.
Pay your fee times 5. And then other parents are bought in. And and this is kind of how my name has, what I've done, has grown, because, like, you can't set on money. Like money shouldn't control what you do for a kid, man. Like,
absolutely.
Your blessing be cut down. Like, that's why I feel like I've been blessed, because, like, I may charge a kid $20, or I may see a kid that may have a potential. Like, look, man, mama, don't pay me nothing. Just bring them to me. Get them to you as much as we can. I'll tell a parent right now, the more time you spend with me, kids spend with me, is going to put them in a position to go to school for free. And it's over 300 schools in the nation to go to. So, that's kind of why I've been blessed a lot over my 3 or 4 years I've been doing this, man, just because that aspect of the money part. And the parents that don't buy in, sometimes I have parents that pay the other kids' tab. Because I have parents that are blessed in many ways. So, it all works out, man. But it's a blessing for me to, like, be in the position I am now, man. Eventually, I'm going to end up coaching college football. I do want to be a O-line coach at some point. So, this is all ties to, like, to the future, what I want to do. I can recruit, because I know kids. I like kids. I taught in the school system. So this is kind of why I've been winning in my world with this offensive line stuff. I've been blessed, man, because can't put a price on too many things, man. Some things you just gotta give it away, man.
That's right. That's right. All right, so hey, so if somebody wants to get a hold of you, right, we're gonna say, and Mike's got it up there. Go to Kevin's Twitter page, and then Kev's there. Reach out on him, DM, and then hit him up so you can get your kid some offensive line training, or just get that mentorship and coaching. But also, Kev, one thing you inspire me, and what you're inspiring others is that the legacy that you're leaving. So if you could give any advice, and as we get close to the end of this interview, if you get any advice out there to any young person right now that's going to listen to this on social media, because we're going to put it out on Instagram, we're going to push it out on Facebook, we're going to push it out on Twitter. If you can give them any advice, what advice would you give any young person that's like, thinking they're in despair, don't think that they have the skill sets, and don't think, I'm an offense, I want to be an offensive lineman, but I'm not getting the training and the needs I need. What advice would you give those people?
Man, for the ones that need the advice, start with, first of all, the time you spend on your phone. It can kind of help you in life, for like watching videos instead of just spending time with different social sites. Try to, like, go on YouTube and just, like, look at the info that some of the great ones that before us that's giving the info, and a lot of the info they're giving you is 100% correct, and it's just the foundation of what you're trying to do. On top of that, then it's just spending time with reps. And like I tell kids all the time, like you can train yourself. Like, yeah, I can come in and give you stuff, but I don't live with you. I'm just here for 2 or 3 times a week, maybe one time a week, maybe one time a month. But everything I tell kids, I want to put in a position to train themselves. So the videos I send through text messages, the videos I send with other kids doing other drills and stuff. Get out, get active, start early, don't wait. Don't take no for an answer. If you get cut or get denied one time, keep on going, man. But just keep on trying, because there are a lot of eyes out here, and you just got to bet on yourself. But all the eyes you have out here will help you, and somebody gonna notice, man. But you got to start within yourself. You got to be disciplined. You got to look the part, and you got to do the stuff you're supposed to do. I cannot invest money into you if you don't look the part. That's number one.
Hey, Mike. Awesome. Hey, Mike, before we roll out here, Mike, what do you got for Kev, brother?
Kevin, it's good meeting you, man. Keep on doing your thing, man. You know,
Man, look,
be real with them, though. You got to be real with them, right?
Look, man, I'm an free agent, man. I got a half a scholarship to Western Carolina. To Western Carolina, Vince.
Hey, I got a bone for you, man. I got a bone for you. So what you need to change your shirt is undrafted and ready. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need. Undrafted and ready.
I got some ideas and stuff. I said I'm gonna send you something, man. I'm gonna
All right, so yeah, you send it to me, man, and we can look it over. But definitely, I like the undrafted and ready. Yeah, so we can get. So hey, I'll give you that one. Hey, Kev, it has been a pleasure having you on. And you know it's always good that impactful people making a difference in the world. And as always, me and Mike say, when you come on Coach Connection, embrace power, keep it rolling.
Man, I appreciate y'all. Good to meet y'all, man. Happy on again if y'all want to. Do this anytime, man.
Gotcha.